This is Mwenda Saba TV.
Oh yes, I'm glad you are watching. Welcome back on our show, and as usual, you have our political scientist on board, Professor Naituli, the former commissioner in the National Integration and Cohesion Commission. Professor, how are you, sir?
Very good.
You good?
I'm wonderful.
The reason why I'm here today, there is what appears like orchestrated kind of attack towards the Kikuyu speaking community. And now here again, the campaigns are here. The season is here. You are a former commissioner from the NCIC. What's your view? Recently, remarks were made by the one Hassan Omar, the SG of the UDA party. And the way things appear, it's like tunarudi pale tu kwa ukabila.
You know, you said it appears.
Yeah, it appears so. Yes.
It does not appear. It is orchestrated. Because you have to understand who is Hassan Omar. He is Secretary General of the ruling party. The Secretary General ruling party can't say those things without the concurrence of his boss. He will be fired the next day. He has not been fired, so he is there. So it's kind of a policy that they say those things, that they incite the country against the Kikuyus, because they have been open about it.
Yes.
They are not even using language which is intended to mask their real intentions.
Yes.
They are actually very open about it. But what they don't understand is that since 2007, this country has really changed. These people, they're in 2007, where they incited the country against the Kikuyus, and they actually grown the Kikuyus. They grown about 1,300 people, displaced thousands, over 650,000.
Yes, yes.
Some of them are still in the internal refugee camps. Now, the difference now is this. And between these 20 years, 2007 and 2026, we have intermarried, we have started businesses together, we live together.
Yes.
You see, if you went to 2007, you wouldn't find a Kalenjin in any town in Kenya.
I agree.
Today, there is a Kalenjin washing cars in Meru.
True.
There is a Kalenjin having saloons in Meru.
True.
Do you think they are going to agree to be incited by the politician to start the chaos? Because everybody is going to suffer. If you come to Nairobi and Kiambu, 25% of the Kiambu population is Luo. It is the Luo leaders beating in drums of war. You think they are beating those in drums against you? Against their own kinsmen who are in central Kenya. Now, I tell you something else which has happened over the last 14 years. The country economy has deteriorated terribly. And because of the deterioration, the only place with reasonable economic activity to support population is actually the Mount Kenya region. So what has happened is the whole country has moved here.
You are feeding from Mount Kenya basket.
Yes, the entire country has moved here. Just go and carry a survey of the growth of population of Meru alone. Calculate how many Kenyans are there. From Nyanza, from even from the coast. Usually coast people have not been moving, but now they are moving. So you calculate, go to Nyeri, go to any hotel in Muranga. And tell me who is working there, whether it is the Kikuyus. It is Kenya working there. So these fellows, I don't know which world they are coming from, because the country has integrated nearly 45%, and they are left in backward in the 2007, in the pre-2007 era, where you could target a Kikuyu in an isolated place, and then there is no cost to you. Because the people you imagine you are trying to fight for, they are not reachable because they are in their villages. There is nobody in the village anymore. Anybody bringing tribal hatred, and bringing that stupidity in the country, it will affect every single Kenyan. My advice to them is don't try it. But even if there is another angle, when somebody like Omar Hassan spews tribal hatred, You know what he is doing? What he may end up doing? He may end up reminding the Mijigenda that he is an Arab.
Omar Hassan is an Arab.
Yeah, you remind them that he is an Arab. And you know what the Arabs have done there? They are sitting on the land as absentee landlords, some of them.
Yes.
They haven't been very nice to us, to Africans.
Yes.
Okay? So there's the fellow in his attempt to hate and cause animosity among Kenyan groups. He is going to remind the Mijigenda that they don't need representation from Arabs, that they can represent themselves. So if I can advise them, please be careful. Okay? It's a dandling game they are trying to play, because you can't control where it goes after you are initiated that business.
Yes.
Controlling the end result it becomes a nightmare.
But Prof, I've had President Ruto on so many occasions pointed out that hawatakubali nchi kurudishwa kwenye misingi ya ukabila na kugawanya. But on this case scenario, I have not heard him condemn Omar Hassan, who is the SG part of UDA.
Exactly, that's what we are saying. That these people have a misguided belief that actually we hate Kikuyus. Because they do. They obviously hate Kikuyus.
They hate Kikuyus?
Obviously, I mean, it's very clear from their pronouncement. Murkomen, Aho Waziri, for internal security, the man who is supposed to put all of us together as a nation, who is supposed to protect us and our property, he pivot a Mafuta strike into a Kikuyu thing. That is what is inside his heart, you know? And I think the tragedy also of this country is that we have allowed impunity to persist. Remember that those people who killed other Kenyans in 2007 are Kenyans. Those people, none of them has ever been brought to account for what they did in 2007. Some of them are very well on being in the government right now. And that is why it's very easy for a minister. Even the chief of the police was standing next to him there, pivoting, trying to insinuate that it is the Kikuyus rioting because Ruto happened to be a Kalenjin, that they didn't riot when a Kikuyu, Uhuru Kenyatta, was president. Imagine that coming from a minister for internal security, doesn't even know the gravity of what he is saying or the kind of job he is actually holding. And that's the problem of giving people jobs when they are not qualified for them. These guys can destroy this country. Of course, they will destroy themselves in the process of destroying the country.
Yes.
You see, there is this story which has been moving around in the social media about a man who bought a donkey for the first time. And then he was afraid his donkey one day may get lost.
Yes.
So he put it on his roof. And they told the donkey to look at all the streets. So they can familiarize himself with the street and how to go home in the event that they get lost. So he did the time where to tell the donkey to go down.
Yes.
The donkey refused. He said, why should I go down? This place looks very nice. So he started stamping on the house. The man realized the donkey is not going to stop stamping and realized eventually to collapse his house and he finished his family. So he rushed down. He barely escaped with his family before the house collapsed and he killed the donkey. The point of that story is that when you have clueless people, they can bring down this house called Kenya, even though they will die in it.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So people need to be extremely careful and respect the responsibility people have placed on their shoulders.
Why do you think they hate Kikuyu?
I don't know. It's very hard to know because I'm making judgment from their pronouncements. Because their pronouncement obviously are not good. But you know, there is this thing called primitive jealousy in psychology. A primitive jealousy person just dislikes you because somehow you are able to succeed, whether I put round blocks on you, whether I do this, somehow you have to succeed. You remember Moi, when he took power, he actually went to cricket in Igambo. He told them now, the horse is going to stop at the wait for the donkey. That was a Kikuyu trend.
Yes.
What he was trying to say is Kikuyus have been too successful.
Yes. They have not to stop.
Everybody else engages in donkey, so you have to stop.
And they wait for the donkey.
You see, a normal person, you make the donkey run faster.
Yes.
You don't make anyone stop.
Yes.
Because if Kikuyu stops, the country also stops. Yes. Because they are part of this country. So I think this thing is just the primitive jealousy. Primitive jealousy, it does not deliver to anyone. Oh. There was a story out of Congo where some professor was actually explaining why Africans have a problem working with one another. And you can say when they run, they're actually winning gold medals. But they can't play football because the football requires to collaborate. You have to collaborate with the other one.
It's a teamwork.
It is a teamwork. So the professor said the biggest problem is primitive jealousy. He said in God went to a village in Angola and told a man, I won't give you anything you ask, but I want you to know I won't give your neighbor twice. The man asked for 2 weeks to think about it. When the 2 weeks was over, he started to understand if it's true that whatever I ask you, you don't give me, but you give my neighbor twice. Then God told him that what I said. He said, then remove one of my eye. This fellow is willing to lose an eye as long as his neighbor is blind. It's called primitive jealousy because both of you win, get nothing. That is what is driving a trend for Kikuyus. Basically primitive jealousy because look here, 2 Kikuyus or 3 of them have been the president. They have been as bad to the Kikuyu population as they are bad to the rest of Kenya. So the idea that Kikuyus have been the president is neither here nor there. Because the Kikuyus have been struggling with all of us here. But you see them, and like a lot of us, they really focus. Okay, even if they are theft. In government is usually better to the Kenyans than the theft of the other guys. Because I mean, there's been only 2 people robbing us in this country. It's the Kalenjins and the Kikuyus. These are the people who have been stealing from us. Now, of course, when I say Kalenjin and Kikuyus, I don't mean the Kalenjin population, and I don't mean the Kikuyu population. I mean the leading elite in both communities. Now, when the Kikuyus elite still, they build an hotel. They form a SACCO. Money circulates. They employ. Those employed pay taxes. When the other fellows still, nobody knows what they do with their money. So this primitivity is what is driving their hatred for this Kalenjin. And you know, I got a story similar here in 2013. 2013, Mundavani defects from ODM. I was with a professor there, Professor Musangi, God rest his soul in peace. He was a very nice guy. He was a vice chancellor of Egerton University. And I told the professor in Rift Valley Sports Club, I told the professor the country hasn't gotten a president because Kibaki was trying to look for an Kikuyu that time. And he told me it won't happen. So I asked the professor why. He says, Mwalimu, there is something called primitive jealousy. The professor is an animal scientist. So he gave an analogy. I guess the best teachers to do that. Even in Jesus, he uses a lot of analogy in his teaching. He told me when a Kikuyu buys a cow, his neighbor started to plant napier grass because he knows the market for the grass has come close. So he told me in his hands that's a symbiotic relationship because eventually you will sell on grass and also buy a cow. But he told me where he come from. When a neighbor buys when you buy a cow, You are in neighbor Urusero, the only family goat to buy poison to kill the cow. So both of you can be poor. You call that primitive jealousy. But you see now, what was going around in my mind when the professor was saying that, I was also saying about Meru. We are not different from what that fellow was describing. Yes. We do exactly which Meru has gone into government, for example, and behave like William Ruto. Okay? Because for me, people don't like Ruto. They say he's a practicing tribalist. Because he has employed the Kalenjin all over. Yes. But what if everybody else does? If everybody does that, what is the problem? When that's the problem? You see, so Mundavandi president to get 400,000 votes. Yes. He never made it. Okay? Yes. Illustrating the professor's interpretation of the community's mindset. That is true for every community in Kenya except 3. It's true for all of us. Yes. Except 3. Except Kalenjins, yes. Kisis, and the Somalis. Those are the only different people who actually are not suffering from primitive jealousy. They, of course, kind of work against all the other Kenyans because they only work for themselves. Yes. You understand? But you see now, if we are in the animal kingdom, if you look at that from that perspective, it is actually okay. Because so if they just take care of their people, because whatever you will find a Kesi somewhere, you will bring every other Kesi there. Same thing with the Somalis. Same thing with the Kalenjins. But the other Kenyans, they don't do that.
This is Mwenda Saba TV.